Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Yes, sir. All right, Shalom. We the brothers of Great Millstone, Chicago. Come with another lesson through the Spirit. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to all you brothers who preach in the gospel in truth and necessary, always in charity. And we're just gonna get right into the lesson. You know, as you see the title, it says a house of prayer for all people. So we just gonna give the understanding of that, man. Because a lot of people, you know, they have a misunderstanding of this scripture, you know. So we just say, hey, gonna go through it and Lord willing to set a time. Can the brother get Isaiah 56? And we start at the top.
This is Isaiah 56 and 1. Thus saith Yahweh, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed.
Okay, and it says keep judgment and do justice, man. You know, the only ones that's capable of doing that is the Israelites, man. You see? And it says, for my salvation is near to come. Salvation is only for Israel, you know, as it is written in Matthew 1 and 21, as it is written in Acts 5 and 30, you know, and in plenty other places. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Hey, and if brothers got any precepts, you know, you can, you know.
Yeah, this is Luke 1. St. Luke, the first chapter. In verse 68. Blessed be Yahweh, power of Israel, for he has visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up the horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant, the oath which he swore to our father Abraham. And he will grant unto us that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear. Let me hit 77. To give knowledge of salvation unto his people by the remission of their sins. So there you go. We're the ones that can receive mercy. He is not set up to receive that mercy, man. Hey, I got you right here. This is Acts 5. This is Acts 5 and 30. It said, the power of our fathers raised up Yahweh Shai, whom he slew and hanged on a tree. Him have Yahweh exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. Going back to what you read in that Luke, and the salvation of his people.
I have a couple. This is Psalms 50 and I'm gonna start at verse 5 to back up what Benji had said, man. Those that made the covenant. This is Psalm 50 and 5. It says, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And we know those are the Israelites, all right? According to Amos 3 and 1, it says, I will punish you for all of your iniquities. So, hey, I'm gonna read down here is Psalm 50 and 16. It says, but unto the wicked, Yahweh said, what hast thou to declare my statutes, or that shalt take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and cast my words behind thee. All right, so anybody that's trying to group in Esau and the other nations, not only did they never have the covenant, but they can't keep the laws, man. All right, they're let me get this. This is Ecclesiastes 1 and 15. It says, that which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. All right, so hey, man, the other nations, all right, can't keep the laws, man. All right, and when they try, they always mess up. That's why it says that in the kingdom we're going to chastise them, we're going to correct them. All right, like our heavenly Father chastised us for going off, man. All right, let me get.
I'm gonna read this real quick. What you read in Psalms, that's Psalm 50. What you read 5, right? But then they kept the law with The ones when he said he made a covenant with them. This is real quick. This Deuteronomy 33 and 4. It said Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. What was that? Deuteronomy 33 and 4.
This is Jeremiah 7. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start at 1. It says the word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying, "Stand in the gate of Yahweh's house and proclaim there this word, and say, Hear the word of Yahweh, all ye of Judah that enter in at these gates to worship Yahweh. Thus said Yahweh, power of hosts, the power of Israel, amend your ways and your doings, and I will cause you to dwell in this place." The Lord gonna cause us to dwell in His sight, man. You see, because we're a people before we're a place, you know. So the Lord is dwelling amongst us, man. It says, verse 4, "Trust ye not in lying words, saying the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord are these. For if ye thoroughly amend your ways and your doings, if ye thoroughly execute judgment between a man and his neighbor," then we just read in Isaiah 56, it says to execute judgment and justice, right? Verse 6, "If ye oppress not the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, and shed not innocent blood in this place." How do you shed innocent blood? You see, by you teaching lies, man. So it says shed not innocent blood. So that means what? You teach the truth. You understand? It says, "Neither walk after other gods to your hurt. Then will I cause you to dwell in this place in the land that I gave to your fathers forever and ever," man. You know? So we must execute judgment, man. We must execute justice. What's that? According to the word. So we must live in these scriptures. You see? Go back to Isaiah 56.
Isaiah 56, verse 2. "Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the son of man that layeth hold on it, and keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil.
That's right.
Neither let the son of the stranger that had joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, Yahweh had utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, Behold, I am a dry tree."
Right. So it says, neither let the stranger say that have joined himself to the Lord, man. So that stranger is an Israelite foreigner. Can the brother get what's that? The Exodus 12 that we read earlier. I think it's verse 49. It says, "One law shall be to the home born to the stranger," man. The law was given. This a brother gets Psalms 147. Okay, bro. Go ahead.
This is Exodus 12 and 49. "One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among them."
One law, man. You see? Get that, bro?
Psalms 147 and 19. "He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known that praise be the Lord."
Exactly. You know? So that stranger that's joining himself into the Lord, hey, that's Isaiah 14 and 1.
I got it right here. This is Isaiah 14 and 1. "For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob."
Boom.
Let me, can I hit this video real quick? This is back in Exodus 12 and 44. "Now every man's servant that is bought for money, if thou hast circumcised him, then shall eat thereof." Right? Then it says, "What though a foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof," because you know some situations, you buy Israelites, they work for a period, they can redeem themselves. But you also have actual hired servant and slaves, which is from among the heathens, man. Okay, and it says the servants, after they circumcise, they become under their heritage, all right? They can eat the Passover, but actual foreigner can't, right?
Right.
Then you skip down to verse 48. "And when the stranger shall," I'm going to start at 47. "All the congregation of Israel shall keep it." That's the law. Okay? So this verse 48. "And when the stranger shall sojourn with thee and will keep the Passover to the Lord, all his males be circumcised." But above it said a foreigner can't. So this stranger is talking about Israelite that was born in a foreign land. That's what it says, man. All right. "Let him come near and keep it He shall be as one that is born in the land. For no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. This is talking about some Israelite foreigner, right? One born in another land, right? Especially that took on those heathen customs, man.
Because they wouldn't have got circumcised.
That's right. That's right.
You know, they living like an heathen.
This is Obadiah 1 and 10. But thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captives, his forces and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. And thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger.
Right.
Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proud in the day of distress. And what's that going to, man? That's losing our land, and eventually losing what? Our heritage. We became strangers, man, in captivity. Hosea 8:8, we were swallowed up. We took on these heathen customs, man. All right. When you read about the different kings, they all at one point said what? Let everybody come and learn our laws, and then forsake your laws. And there was always wicked Israelites that was down for it.
Like it not to be.
Right, especially once they start marrying their damn children, man. They immediately sent to hell with the laws of the Lord, man. Hell, in the book of Judges, they kept the name of the Lord, they had idols. These niggas been wicked for a long time, man. We always had Israelite foreigners, man, strangers that was in different lands, man. Even coming out of Egypt.
This is Ephesians 2 and 11. It says, wherefore remember that ye being in times past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands.
There you go. It says the flesh made by hands. So it's letting you know it is talking about the little circumcision. What does that go into? Letting go of your heritage, man. When you read the law given to Abraham, our forefather Abraham, what did it say? If any man didn't circumcise, let him be cut off from his people. And he became what? A heathen. All right? So not keeping the circumcision is literal, but also a representation, man, because you can be circumcised and not keep the laws, but you're still circumcised in heart.
That's the Roman.
Like completely uncircumcised in heart.
That's right.
So you're counting as what? A Gentile, cut off from your people.
Yep. That's the Romans, the 2nd chapter. It says, shall not your circumcision be counted as uncircumcision if you don't keep the law? And shall his uncircumcision be counted as circumcision if he do keep it?
Right, Romans 9 chapter. Yeah, all Israel ain't Israel, man. You're not counting Israelite when you're into Israel.
That's right. This is verse 12. It says that at that time you were without Yahushai, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise. Can the brother read Romans 9? Having no hope and without the Most High in the world. But now in Mashiach Yahushai, ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of Yahushai. So in this Isaiah 56 and 2, Salaki, verse 3, it says, neither let the son of the stranger that had joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, Yahweh hath utterly separated me from his people. You know? No, because we're made nigh by the blood of Yahushai, man. Let him not say that, man. Because we're being called back into his grace, man. That's why it's called the adoption. This ministry that we're doing is called the ministry of reconciliation, man. What does the word reconciliation mean? You see?
This is Romans 9 and 3. It says, for I wish that myself were accursed from Mashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to who pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises.
That's it. That's it. To whom pertains all that, man? So when it says what? That we were strangers without the covenants of promise, who was it talking about? It was talking about Israelites. Because that's who the covenants of promise was given to.
Well, covenants of promise to the Israelites.
That's right. Man. That's right. Abraham, Isaac to Jacob, man.
That's right.
You know? If nobody ain't got nothing.
Guys, this is Romans 9 and 6. It's not as though the word of the Most High had not taken in none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel.
There you go. So some Israelites are coming to them. Now skip down to 28.
I got it right here. In Romans chapter 9, verse 28. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Lord make upon the earth. And as Isaiah said before, except the Lord of Sabaoth had left us a seed, we had been as Sodom and been made like unto Gomorrah.
Hey,
Right, man, that's not all we do. It's a little bit of
Going up 25 figures.
yeah, that's beautiful still, man.
24.
You know,
Right, because it goes into the Isaiah. It says,
exactly.
is it wasn't for that remnant,
Yep.
all right, which the remnant is what's left over of any number, man, which is ultimately who this is going out to, man.
Hey, started 24 is going here. Yeah.
It's Romans 9:24. Even us, whom he had called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
All right, so not the Jews only, them that knew they were Jews, but also the niggas that was living like niggas.
Right.
You know? And I don't mean that no disrespect to our forefathers, but it's layman terms, They was living like Greeks and shit, So they was barbarians. Shit, that's another way of saying it.
Blue beast.
Without the law. Hey, this Hosea, just to prove what the brother said real quick. That's the first chapter. 8. Okay. This is Hosea 8:8. Israel is swallowed up. Now they shall be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. Okay. Swallowed up, man. They were completely taken over by their custom. The overflowing water took them, man. Yeah. Hey, look, this Hosea 12:1. It says, Ephraim feeded on wind, and they followed after the east wind. He daily increasing lies and desolation. Hey, man, if this ain't talking about niggas, man, like the brother said, hey, daily increasing lies and desolation. And they do make a covenant with the Assyrians. And oil is carried into Egypt. The Lord have also controversy with Judah and will punish Jacob according to his ways, according to his doings when he recompenses. But that's what niggas do, man. They like following after the flow of the other nations, and hence they became those other nations. Yeah. You keep going that Romans 9?
We're gonna preach that for real fast because it said, can you read that verse again that you read, verse 25?
You only read 24.
Oh shit, Slocky. I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah.
Want to read 25? It's Romans 9:25. As he said also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved.
Right. So it starts off, all right, not to the Jews only, but also to the Gentiles. And he used this Hosea as a precept to prove his point. So let's get to Hosea and see who he's talking about, man. You got Hosea the first chapter, man?
Yeah, I got two of them though. I got the first chapter and the second chapter.
Oh, yeah.
This is Hosea 1 and verse 9. Then said the Most High, call his name Lo Ami, for ye are not my people.
And that's I'm a young man. All right. La not no. All right. I'm my people, and you put the yard in mine. So the Lord just cast Israel off temporarily, man. All right, like you said, if you have a little rag that like hit my face, man. So he cast us off. Go ahead.
It says, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
There you go. So he's going to bring us back. We're going to be told we weren't the Israelites. We were bywords and proverbs. Now we was niggas, all right, Mexicans, Native Americans, Indians, Puerto Ricans, Peruvians, all right, hell, Nigerians,
Black,
Chinese, right. You're right. You're right. Man, relax.
This is verse 11. It says, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come out, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
And that's why that 12 tribe chart is important, man. Because it's what? When it's a read Zechariah says they should take the strength, she grab hold to the start of him that is a Jew. Them that identify with this word of confusion of face is going to grab hold of, man. You waking up at 12, seemingly the ones that's physically, for the most part, physically visible like the 12 tribes, then you're going to get that great innumerable number soon, man. So that Isaiah 14:1, it says what? The stranger shall cleave unto the house of Judah. You got that? Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14.
Speak up, brother.
For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Hey, that's the spirit that it got brought back. Because as you brothers can see, it's already on the screen. So now you just simple search, man. You know, just a little simple search. This is Lawa, right? Where you get a lawya. You see where lawya comes from, man, which means join to meet. It says to join, be joined, to be joined together. So when was it a actual heathen ever joined to the Lord, right? And it says, and they shall cleave. Let's get that word cleave. Sapach. Sapach. Salakia. Sapach. It says to join, attach to, join together, man. So when was a heathen ever joined together with the Lord, man?
Hey,
You see?
the law tells you that even like a Moabite and Ammonite shouldn't enter the congregation forever. A bastard, they can't be joined to the Lord.
So we're gonna hit back to that Isaiah. Or was it more in Romans 9 that you wanted?
Yeah. Read one, but I want that. No one.
I got it. You want the Romans 9 right now? Romans 9, we'll read 25 again. It says, as he said also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living power. Isaiah also cried concerning Israel.
Right. So there you go. Boom. We're talking about Israel the whole time. You want to mention the Gentiles. We're talking about the Israelite foreigners, man. Those that were born in foreign lands, all right, the scattered Israelites, and also the confusion of faces, man. It all depends on when and which context you read, or what scripture you read, man. But hell, technically, all were strangers, man. Confusion of faces just still look like the strangers, so they call strangers all the way through.
Yeah,
The
it's like
Israelites.
in Revelation, the 7th chapter, when he named the 12 tribes, then he said the great multitude.
That's right. That's right.
They looked like Greeks, white people,
Fake Jews,
look
nose and all, man.
also Adam Levine shit.
Right. Yeah, that's gonna be a big one for Jake.
It is, man.
I got some. This is 1 Peter 2:9. It says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, which goes back to Exodus and Deuteronomy. It says that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Verse 10 is the point, which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of the Most High, who had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy, man. And when we read in Hosea, it says what? That we wasn't a people, but in the land of our captivity, it shall be said that we are the children of the living power, right? So it read down and it said what? And it said, great is the day of Jezreel. This is Hosea 2:22. It says, and the earth shall hear the corn and the wine and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel, man. Right? The word Jezreel in the Hebrew is Yazarayala, which means he is seed of Yahweh, man. He is seed of the power. It says, verse 23, and I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. The same thing Peter quoted, man. The same thing Paul is quoting. It says, and I will say to them which were not my people, thou art my people, and they shall say, thou art my power, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. This is Baruch 2. I'm gonna start at 28. I'm gonna be a little bit fast. As thou spakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write the law before the children of Israel, saying, if you would not hear my voice, surely this great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me, because this is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. and shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I'll give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name.
And that's exactly it says, remember themselves and live in captivity.
Mm-hmm.
This is Isaiah 63 and 16. It says, doubtless thou art our father, though Abraham be ignorant of us, and Israel acknowledge us not, thou, O Lord, art our father, or Redeemer, thy name is from everlasting.
Shit, that tells you right there, man. So Abraham be ignorant of us, and Israel acknowledge us not, man. Hey, because the Lord casted us away. We became those heathens. We became Gentiles. Hey, in the book of Ezekiel, it says, it shall not come into your mind, I shall be the people. Yeah, you know, so the Lord is telling us how we became heathens, man.
Serving gods. Hey, 1 Corinthians 12:1.
That's right.
You were Gentiles carried away to dumb idols. That's what made us. That's what made Israel Gentiles, man. He's under the way it is. He's swallowed up amongst the Gentiles.
You got a precept for that? This is Psalms 106 and 34. It says, they did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Basically, yeah, being around these people, that's how you see how Jake nowadays, man, whether they come from Latin American countries, man, or from the different islands, man, they come here, man, and what do they do on Memorial Day? Grill hot dogs, man. They take in the customs of what? America. They burn fireworks on the 4th of July, man.
Right.
Knowing goddamn well they didn't do that in their own land, man. They don't do that in Salvador. They don't do that in Mexico. They don't do that in Chile, man. But what happens is that once they come to America, they see that the way of so-called America, or the way that these people live is prosperous to them, and they take on those customs, man, which ain't for them, man. All right, you are holy people, man, like the blood red, man. It's written in Deuteronomy, man, in Exodus, man, a peculiar, a chosen. All right, but here it is. You guys want to take on the customs of these things that profit nothing unto you, man.
Hey, the scripture says that the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them, man. So so when that right, it says what? They became a snare. The way of the heathens became a snare. That's why Genesis. That's why Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, says what? Learn not the way of the heathen, man, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Why? Because the heathen are dismayed at them. You know.
This is Ezekiel 6 and 8. Yet will I leave a remnant, that ye may have some that shall escape the sword among the nations, when ye shall be scattered through the countries. And they that escape of you shall remember me among the nations, where they shall be carried captives. Because I am broken with their whorish heart, which have departed from me, and with their eyes which go a-whoring after their idols. And they shall loathe themselves for the evils which they have committed in all their abominations. You know, the Lord came on to whatever gods they were going after. That those people are going to be your captives. You know, and like we read in Hosea, in the land of captivity, they shall remember it.
I got one for that, because it said about them remembering themselves, and that with the brotherhood man and Beruben. What was that, 4 and 7? I believe 2 and 29 and 2. 2 and 21? 20 to 33. And this is Malachi 4 and 16, and it said, they that feared Yahweh spake often to one another, and Yahweh hearkened and heard it, and the book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahweh and that thought upon his name. And that's us coming back into our heritage, man, and the Lord severing basically the elect of his people. It said,
that's the third chapter, right?
It's Malachi 3 and 16. It says, verse 17, it said, and they shall be mine, said Yahweh of hosts, and in that day I will make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spared his own son. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahweh and him that serveth him not. So the ones, the Lord got it written. You know, the ones that was gonna come back into this thing, just like it says, what's that, Revelation 22 and 11. All right, we was gonna be Gentiles, but at the same time, if this was our lot, to be one elect, we was gonna come back. We was gonna remember ourselves in the captivity, like the brother was just going into.
Hey. So Sirach says, "Truth shall return unto those that practice in her," man. You know,
12 and 13. You should stand in your lot in the latter days, man.
That's right.
We're hoping to be on our right side, man. To be that remnant, like I said, how it compared us, that we were, if not, we'd be like Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Like it says in Isaiah, I believe it's 1 and 9. All right, that small number, that small sanctuary, man.
All right, let's jump back to Isaiah.
This is
3 verse 3 again. Because all that was just off the stranger, off the first part. And Isaiah,
is Isaiah 56 and 3. Neither let the son of the stranger that had joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, Yahweh had utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, Behold, I am a dry tree.
Exactly. Neither yet let the eunuch say, Behold, I am a dry tree, man. What's that Psalm, the first chapter? It says that we shall be as the tree planted by waters. The Lord said, what? I will abundantly water my garden. Roughly paraphrasing. The Lord said, I will pour floods upon the dry ground. So we got the word, man.
That's him shall be he that believeth on me, as the scripture I said, John 7:38.
That's right. That's right.
Fountains of living waters.
Yep.
This is verse 4.
Hey, because what's that? Jeremiah, the 5th chapter. The Lord said, "Ye have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, man." The Lord said, "Who will lead the cold flowing waters from a mountain?" Roughly paraphrasing. But go ahead, bro.
Verse 4. But thus saith Yahweh unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbath.
And when you look into that, matter of fact, let's do it. Because you can look into this word eunuch, man. Hebrew word sarayas, right? You go into it, it says official or a eunuch, man. But when you go, it says what? A minister of state. So us as ministers of what? This gospel, man. So we are those eunuchs, man. It ain't got nothing to do with not having sex. Because all the other, when you look at the references in all the other scriptures, look where it appears: officer, 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 officer. So it don't mean technically somebody that didn't have sex, man. Right. Hey, that's what they got in here too. Yeah, they got the definition. It says a eunuch, one castrated.
Hey, that was a Babylonian heathen custom.
That's right. That's right.
That's madness, man. But
Daniel was called a eunuch. And what? He was a keeper of yeah. Yep.
Just like in Revelations, I think it's at the 14th chapter, when they go into all these men being virgins.
Yeah.
You got simple ass niggas that read that and think these men didn't have sex. And it clearly tells you that disciples, apostles, had women, man.
Had children.
Like that's bugged out. King David, King Solomon. Like, well, just a case in point, the men of the Lord had Moses. So they ain't part of the number, man. That's out, man. You niggas out your mind, man.
Right, because it said we have forsaken all. All right, and what shall we receive in turn?
Yep.
So they straightway follow Yahweh Shai. It said, he that wife, mother, father, man.
And the scriptures clearly tell you Peter had a wife. It blatantly says it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hey, his mother-in-law was sick. Yahweh Shai healed her.
Yeah, that's right.
His mother-in-law. So that was his wife's mother, man.
Right. So,
just mean pure, man. Let it down.
Talk about the men of the Lord having no sex. Yes, you niggas out there, man.
Go ahead, bro. Back in
it was Isaiah 56. Isaiah 56 verse 4. But thus said Yahweh unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant.
It said, and choose the things that please the Lord. And brother, get Romans 12:1, you're gonna read the verse 2. Because the things that are pleasing unto the Lord, can the brother hold Baruch 4:4 as well? You already got it?
I got 2 minutes.
Let him ride.
First, Romans,
If you got Roman, go ahead.
this is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
That's a part of what? Taking hold of the covenant, man. That's our reasonable service, man. We live not unto ourselves. You see? Our life is hid with Yahweh Shai, man. So that means what? That means, hey, fuck this world, man. We living accordingly to the word. You see? Go ahead.
Fear the Most High, keep his commandments, is the whole duty of man. Ecclesiastes chapter 12.
That's right.
Verse 2. Romans 12 and 2. And be not conformed to this world.
See, don't follow the way of the Gentiles. You see? Because all is in the world, like it says in John, is what? The lust, the pride of life. The love of the Father is not in that, man. So that's the mindset of a Gentile, man. That's the mindset of a heathen. So be not conformed to this world. Go ahead, bro.
That's right. Ephesians 2nd chapter, it talks about the spirit that worketh in the children of disobedience, man. It said what? There they fathered the devil. That's the same with the spirit of Cain, man.
Yep.
It's all the same thing, man. So it's two lots, man. You're either Israelite or you're Gentile. You should be either within the temple that's mentioned in Revelation or you're outside of it.
Because what it says, I know Revelation 11 says measure not the temple, but I think that's what, 21 or 22. It says, because without it's dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers.
That's right. All the fearful, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
By the washing of your mind, man. You see? Go ahead.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
Exactly, man. By the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and perfect will. Go ahead, bro. Hit that Baruch.
Psalm 119.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You holding it?
I'm holding it, yeah.
Go ahead.
This is Psalms chapter 119, verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man come his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word.
That's it. That's it.
Take the next bow down like it, man.
Baruch 2 and 29.
No, 4 and 4.
Oh, 4.
Just like it. You wanted the brother to read the next verse?
Yeah, it basically goes into keeping the commandments. Oh, sure. Psalms chapter 119, verse 10. With my whole heart have I sought thee. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments.
Yeah.
Is Ephesians 5:26, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of waters by the word.
That's it. That's how we sanctify.
The rule 4:4. O Israel, happy are we, for the things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us.
Exactly. It's made known unto us through what, man? Hey, through these scriptures, through our apostles and elders, man, through the teaching, man, through the doctrine, through the Holy Spirit. You see?
Hit that Ephesians, not exactly that.
This is Ephesians 5 and 9. A little level the whole world.
Ephesians.
Oh, God. This is Ephesians 5 and 9. It says, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness, righteousness, and truth.
Okay.
It says, proving what is acceptable to the Lord, and have no fellowship with the fruitful, unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reproving them.
So there you go. That's what the acceptable is, man. Doing his work, rebuking these wicked ass fools, man. Cutting up their doctrines, man.
Yeah.
Which is simply bringing out the truth. Our whole mission is to bring out the truth, man. Hey, you read Jeremiah 44:4?
Hey, and that goes back to verse 1 where it says, keep judgment and do justice. That's how you keep judgment. You establish judgment in the gate. You know? Hey, and in my little prologue, right, it says the prophet exhorteth to sanctification. And the brother we just read how you sanctify through the word. You know?
Jeremiah 44:4.
This is Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 4. Albeit I say unto you, all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh,
do not this abominable thing that I hate.
There you go, man. Do not this abominable thing that I hate, man. And he'll work right earlier. Separate the clean from the unclean, do that certain word and that certain thing, man.
Isaiah 58:1.
That's right.
Yep. Hey, because in Corinthians, the Lord said, touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
That's right.
And you shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord. Yet kind. Yep. Be ye separate. Yep. 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 So where we at? Back in Isaiah?
There's Isaiah 56, verse 5. Even unto them will I give in mine house and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off.
Man, hey, what's that? Daniel 12. Some shall awake to everlasting saying, but some to everlasting right. What's the first one?
Delight, submission. I get it.
I don't want to butcher it. My mind went blank. No, 12 on verse 2, I think it is.
It says that many of them that now this is Daniel's 12:2. It says that many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Right, some to everlasting life, man. That everlasting life is what? That everlasting name. You know?
In fact, you know what? It says it's going to get a better name than sons. It says that a son is no different than a servant. And then Hosea said they should no more call me biology, but they should call me yeah, they should call me husband. We're no longer say my Lord, but husband, man. We're gonna be elevated, man, from a servant status, even though a woman is a servant, but a woman is a woman to a man.
Yeah.
Like when you read Second Ezra, it said, a woman was strong. And she was right there next to the king and shit. The king looked out for her. It said in Ezekiel 16, the Lord said he decked us out, put a diadem on our forehead, gave us a crown, made Israel look like a beautiful woman, man. He's gonna bring us back up, man.
It's a little more to that Daniel chapter 12, verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. Some to, it's like you say third verse. And they that be wise shall shine as brightness of the firmament. And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
We're gonna be wrong with it, man. No longer just servants. We're gonna be a light. We're gonna have our light and then a glow.
Oh,
And he ain't gonna get that. Hey, how can they get everlasting light when they can't? Hey, to do that, you have to be perfect. You have to be able to keep all the laws of the commandments, man. And he can't do that. All right, because even no matter what, even you want to say that the Gentiles and some about heathens, all right, they will never be able to get the perfection part because everywhere you read about the new covenants, it says Israel only. Even that Romans 9, which that Romans 9 proves that the Gentiles and Israelites, that's talking about anyway. All right, when you read in Hebrews, it says it quotes to Jeremiah basically verbatim.
That's right.
When they talk about having the laws and all.
Yeah, now the inward parts.
Acts 26, where it says our fathers instantly serving Yahweh day and night.
That's right.
It says and the brothers make a good point when they say that. Where's these other camps? If this is so called for the whole entire planet, where are the camps of these other people, these other nations, edifying the people who they are, who are the children of Israel? You won't have that because this is the service of the giving of the law. All right, the service of the Most High was given unto who? Unto Israel, man.
And to put back up real quick, I'm just quoting Ezekiel the 3rd chapter. It said if it was for the heathens, they would
get in line, man.
So if it was for them, then there'd be a
I don't even want to say it, but I'm gonna have to see it. I just dropped it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I was just say, hey, scripture says the name of the Lord is dreadful among the heathen.
That's right.
Hey, this is Amos 3:7. Surely Yahweh the power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his prophets, the servants. Read it again.
Hey,
Go ahead, read.
Con, this is Acts 20. I'm just gonna read it this quick. This is Acts 26. I'll start at verse 6. It says, and now I stand, I am judged for the hope of the promise made of Yahweh unto our fathers, unto which promise our 12 tribes instantly serving Yahweh day and night hope to come. All right, that hope, that promise again to Israel, like the blood said, and then the scriptures say, man. All right, that first covenant and new covenant was only promised to Israel, man.
It's really overkill, man. The point has been made, man.
Right. If I could say something to you.
Speak up if you don't say it.
God, also the Lord said that he thinks of these other nations as nothing.
As little.
Second Edges 56 and 56. As for the other people which also come of Adam, God said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and as likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Right.
Straight up.
That's what it says in Isaiah.
This is Amos 3 verse 1. Hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's it.
And
And the Lord said he
I
don't
got it
change.
right here, bro. This Isaiah 40 and 17. All nations be
So like
him.
15.
This Isaiah 40 and 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as a small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh
That's how the Lord looks at the rest of these people, man.
That's right.
Hey, what's that? Brother Hold, Lamentations 1 and 10. Yeah.
Behold, he taketh up the owls as a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn.
He take it up the Isles. The Isles was populated by what? The Gentiles. As a very little thing. Very little thing. And he said Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, man.
So the multitude of the heathens, the gathering of all the heathens, I count it as nothing to the Lord. Nothing, man. And to prove it, the Lord said what? He gave nations ransom for us. He about to burn these heathens up for our sake, man.
Right. Nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
Right.
All nations,
So it ain't nothing you can bring to the Lord. He ain't taking your sacrifices. He said the beast, the abundance of them in Lebanon.
Yeah.
Lebanon was known for
the trees of Lebanon. You read it all through the scriptures. What it say? The cedars of Lebanon.
The abundance of fruits and different resources that was produced by Lebanon. That whatever these heathens could think about bringing to the Lord, he ain't accepting it, man.
Nope. Hey, he said it. He said, and would they pay them the recompense in Joel? He said he is swiftly returning upon their heads. This is verse 17. He said, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity, emptiness.
How do you get less than nothing? That's just to make you show how little you are.
That's
to that end, you know, they say injury to insult me.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so I can go on.
Where, bro?
Lamentations chapter 1 verse 10. The adversary has spread out his hand upon all her pleasant things, for she has seen that the heathen entered into the sanctuary, whom thou didst command that they should not enter into thy congregation.
Right, the brother read it in Amos 3 is how they want to be partakers of the kingdom when they weren't partakers of the suffering, the chastisement that we went through, man.
And the prayers are abomination to the Lord, man.
Here it is, we got jacked up, going through slavery, got killed, looking at look like the scum of the earth wherever we go. All right, these nations are reputed as some by Esau. Esau holds, their bullshit traditions, but all of a sudden, that gives them a pass to also be acknowledged in the kingdom, man. That's like the brother said, man, that's overkill, man.
I got the scripture convention that mentioned it, but it's a good point, man. This is Isaiah 43 and 3. It says, for I am Yahweh, thy power, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee and people for thy life. And so the Lord is going to smoke these people, man. like nothing for us.
When we came out of Egypt, what did the Lord say in 2nd Ezra first chapter? He said, man, I slew kings, man, and nations for thy sake. And the Lord's going to do it again, man. You know? Where we at? Back in,
Isaiah 56, verse 5. Even unto them will I give in mine house, and within my walls a place and a name better than the sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off.
right, that everlasting name, man. This is Sirach, the 44th chapter. Sirach 44 and 7. It says, all these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times. There be of them that have left a name behind them, that their praises might be reported. So we hear the names of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, King David, you know, Elijah, Elisha, Jeremiah, John the Baptist, Peter, so forth and so on, man. It says, verse 9, and some there be which have no memorial, who are perished as though they had never been, and are become as though they had never been born, and their children after them, man. Hey, in Isaiah the 65th chapter, the Lord said, "What, man? Hey, you 2/3, hey, you people who lineage goes back to Israel, but whose spirit is of the father, the devil, and your name will be left for a curse, man."
Right now, they're vessels of dishonor, man. That's why they're going to perish like Esau, man.
This is verse 10. It says, "But these were merciful men whose righteousness have not." It's like he says, "But these were merciful men whose righteousness have not been forgotten." You know, so that's what we 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Know that our labor is not in vain, man. It says, verse 11, with their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance, and their children are within the covenant. Their seed shall stand fast, and their children for their sakes. Their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall not be blotted out, man. So that's that everlasting name, you know? And who was that talking about? I was talking about our forefathers, man.
Right.
That's the Rock of 44th chapter is man. Go ahead, bro.
Isaiah 56 and 6. Also the sons of the stranger that joined themselves to Yahweh to serve him.
Oh, we read Romans 9. To whom pertaineth the Israelite, you know, the service of the Most High.
Yeah.
So the only ones that can serve them is Israelite. That's been overkill, like the brothers keep saying.
Wait, the brother touched it in Exodus because it even said, man, if an Israelite didn't keep it, man, they'd be cut off from the congregation, man.
So,
It's like that point to that Sirach that the brother Messiah read. It started off with they kept the commandments, man.
That's right.
Right? And when you read 2nd Ezra, it says, way they wickedness and our wickedness, man. Only Israel. Can we grab that real quick with that?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
I mean, can you get it?
Oh yeah. This is 2nd Ezra 3. And you want me to start up about wage? This is 2nd Ezra 3 and 34. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy.
It's always an asshole like that. We say the heathens can't keep the commandments. When we say they can't keep it, we literally mean they can't keep it, man. They immediately go off in every way imaginable, man. So they have no control of the flesh, man.
The example of 2 Kings, the 17th chapter.
That's right.
You know, that's they read it. That's the example, man. It's 2nd Ezra 3 and 34. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there is also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
There we go. Only Israel keep the name of the Lord, man. And even attempt to really attempt to do righteous works, man. Really keep the commandments, man.
Mm-hmm. And then we read it, it says they were not called by his name. Did we read that earlier?
No, we haven't finished reading.
Oh, okay.
We had it. We got down to it.
Hey, and it says that name is only found in Israel. Salvation is coming through what? The name, man. Acts 4 and 12. You know?
Isaiah.
And the brother quoted it earlier. The name dreadful amongst the heathen.
Isaiah 63 and 18. The people of thy holiness have possessed it but a little while. Our adversaries have trodden down thy sanctuary. We are thine. Thou never bearest rule over them. They were not called by thy name.
Boom. So the Lord didn't put his name on these heathens, man.
This is Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 12. But go ye now unto my place which was in Shiloh, where I set my name at first, to see what I have done to it for the wickedness of my people. And now because ye have done all these works, saith the Lord, and I spake unto you, rising up early and speaking, but ye heard not, and I called you, but ye answered not. You know, this is precept back in the brother, man. The Lord's name is on the count of Israel, man. He sent his servants, the prophets, telling our people, hey, stop doing this, man. Turn from your idols. But yeah, what it said, man, they hearken not. And the name of the Lord is only found in Israel, man. He ain't done so with no other nation.
Isaiah 56 and 6. Also the sons of the stranger that joined themselves to Yahweh, to serve him, and to love the name of Yahweh, to be his servants, every one that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant. Verse 6 again, it says, also the sons of the stranger that joined themselves to Yahweh, to serve him, and to love the name of Yahweh, to be his servants, every one that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it.
Right, so these are men that return to the commandments, man. All right, and we already established who can keep it, man.
All right, appreciate real fast. Finish it off, bro. It says that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it.
And taking hold of my covenant.
Right, and taking hold of the covenant, right? This is I'm gonna jump Isaiah 58. And I will start up. I'm gonna get straight to the point. It says verse 13, because really Isaiah 58 is talking about doing his work, man, living accordingly. You see, it says Isaiah 58 and 13, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of Yahweh honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasure, nor speaking thy own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of Yahweh hath spoken it. Jacob thy father, man, who was it speaking to? Only Israel, man.
Back to Isaiah 56, verse 7. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and the sacrifices shall be accepted upon my altar, and my house shall be called an house of prayer for all people.
Boom. And so we know who this talking about after we just went through all the verses. You know,
man, only a fucking nigga.
Hey, but
$16,000 dog.
Hey, it says, but his house shall be a house of prayer unto all people. Who is the people he talking about, man? You know, can a brother get John 9 and 31 from me?
Yeah, right here. This is John chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that the Most High here is not sinners.
And as anybody that's what? Hey, can a brother hold Proverbs 28:9? You got it?
Hey, that's everybody. That's everybody in the world. The thing that makes me like different is they saying don't count. So he don't hit you heathens, because the promise, the mercy is only given to Israel.
That's
So
it.
it don't matter how many times next time I'm going to bring out the Gentile preacher, I'll say, Kyle, you right. You know they ain't going to get it because it was talking 12, motherfucker.
Right, that's why I said, blessed is he who the Most High do it not impart sin. Do it when you say.
Right, them that are born of the Most High sin is not.
Mm-hmm. And
who can then turn to he is not promised the mercy, man.
Hey, in the book of Job, the heathen mindset is what? What profit is it in serving the Lord?
Right.
That's their mindset.
You know, because Ezekiel said if it was for them, they would get right.
This is Proverbs 28
So
and 9.
it's like when you finish that off.
Yeah, this is John, St. John chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that the Most High here is not sinners, But if any man be a worshiper of the Most High, and doeth his will, him he heareth.
And what? It says to do the things that's pleasing unto the Lord, man. So that's the will. We read the Romans 12 to prove what is the good and acceptable will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, Baruch 4 and 4. The things that are pleasing are made known unto us, man. And can a brother hold Bible Kushah? Get 2nd Ezra 7 and 21 real fast.
7:21 says, wicked talking about Israel, said they're the sons of God. James 1:1, who's the Israel? They were made to prove our thoughts.
That's right.
So we got the services to keep this word, man. To be the judges.
It's the second.
Psalm 82 and 6, man. Psalm 82 and 1. The Lord said congregation and the mighty, man.
I got it right here. You want to read it?
Yeah, the judge belongs to God. Yeah.
This is Psalms 82, verse 1. The Most High standeth in the congregation of the mighty, he judges among the gods.
And who is that talking about? Verse 6.
Verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all you are children of the Most High.
What?
But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes.
So God's in the flesh. Those current servants, man. And as of now, we're just children. We're just servants. And so we're going to be married until you have B'Shem Yahushua. We're going to become one, man. And get our God mode, man. The strangers ain't promised that. Israel is the gods, man.
That's right.
So I would not get my glory into another, man. You see, they serve idols.
Okay, brother, get 1 Maccabees 7. And I think we're 17. Can you hit that for me, bro?
Yeah,
Oh, no, hold that. Can you hit?
2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 21. The Most High hath given straight commandments to such as came.
He gave straight commandment to such as came. Everybody that was born, he got a straight commandment, man. You see? And I mean everybody, Exodus. Everything that thou has, that Yahweh has said, we will do. So when I mean everybody that's born, man, that's what I'm talking about. Psalms 50 and 5. The ones that made a covenant with sacrifice, man.
Joshua, man. They said we will serve the Heavenly Father. Because he said, as for me and my family, we shall serve the Most High, man.
That's right.
He said, and you shall be a witness against yourselves.
Yeah, bro. So the Lord gave straight commandment, right? Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 7 and 21. The Most High had given straight commandments to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
What should we observe to avoid punishment, man? Hey, the Lord said, hey, to obey is better than sacrifice. Sacrifice because we fucked up. If we didn't fuck up, we wouldn't need to sacrifice. So it says the Lord gave straight commandment, what you should observe. Can you hit your scripture you got now, bro?
Now, this is Proverbs 28 and 9. It says, he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be in the abomination.
Boom. There it is, man. Hey, Psalms 50 and 16. The Most High said unto the wicked, who art thou to take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hate destruction. Roughly paraphrasing, man. That's all the heathen.
Right. All the heathen came together and come against Israel. That's over with, man.
Because
that's after the Lord's eye.
Because heathens, all they do is they repent. They try to repent, but they keep going into they go back to the filth because they don't know how to do right. They can't do right.
And they can repent though, like Hebrews 12 and 16. Man, they can try, you know.
Right, that's what
That's emotional shit.
Right.
Right, exactly.
After being jacked up,
Right,
His ass is Esau.
once you in the head, like you'll cry open too. You know? That's what
Pharaoh.
they're doing. They talk all that shit, man.
Yeah.
Once they get hit, they cry open. Like you said, Pharaoh, his heart was hard against the Lord each time after the Lord gave mercy.
Yep.
Isaiah 26:10, you can't give these niggas mercy, man. I say niggas, I'm talking about your leaders, man.
They knew niggas in the earth.
Shit, they really were.
They was always the niggas though. And they was the original niggas, you right?
Israel was holding it, man.
You read Isaiah for me again, Bible Show?
In Isaiah 56 and 7. Even them will I greet in my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon my altar. For my house shall be called the house of prayer for all people.
Can the brother hit that 1 Maccabees 7 and 37?
This is 1 Maccabees 7, chapter 37. Right. 1 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 37. Thou, O Lord, didst choose this health to be called by thy name, and to be a health of prayer and petition for thy people.
For who people?
Thy people.
Boom. There it is.
Right.
So that's the people, man.
The heathens was counted as less than nothing. They're not a people, man. Like this is Sirach 44 and 20. I'm gonna start up, man. It's Sirach 44 and 19. Abraham was a great father of many people, and glory was there none like unto him. He kept the law of the Most High and was in covenant with him, whose covenant was passed down to Isaac and Jacob, right, to the 12 tribes. We read in Romans 9 to this day. All right, who kept the law of the Most High and was in covenant with him. He established the covenant in his flesh, and when he was talking about the circumcision, and when he was proved, he was found faithful. Therefore, he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations in his seed. Well, that's the nations for one, the nations in his seed. When you read Genesis 35, talking about Jacob, he said, nations shall come and be. So the Israelites are those nations, man, for multitude.
Yep.
So you can't number the flock of Israel.
Right. Because when you read Genesis, the 26th chapter, the Lord tells Isaac the exact same thing he's telling Abraham.
See, they was literally in his nutsack, man.
That's right.
To get plain with you.
Hey, that's why Paul wrote and said what? And Isaac shall thy seed be called.
He said according to the flesh. According to the flesh means you're having sex, man.
That's right. Oh yeah,
Bloodline.
Can you get that Romans 9 again? We didn't read that verse.
We read it, they ain't going to it.
No, we didn't read the verse 4. According to who the Father's here.
Yeah,
Right.
We went to 6. Yep,
Yeah.
you're right. We went to 6.
You
Yep.
skip too much.
To whom pertaining, yeah.
You
Yep,
skip too
you're right.
much, man.
Romans 94.
All right.
You gotta turn to it. You don't.
Romans 95.
Yeah.
All right, this is Romans chapter 9, verse 5. Whose are the fathers and
Sorry, that 4. Why y'all keep skipping?
Because they scared, bro.
This is Romans chapter 9, verse 4.
Pages.
Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises, whose are the fathers,
Promises plural. Covenants plural. Go ahead.
who are the fathers, of whom, as concerning the flesh, Mashiach came,
Who are the fathers and concerning the flesh. So the Israelites, our forefathers, our fleshly forefathers, man. Not no fucking crackers talking about some spiritual Israel going around eating fucking rare pork chops, man. They can't keep the law. It's all type of wickedness, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, well,
No, let him finish though.
who is, this is back in Romans 9 and 5, who are the fathers, and of whom the concerning the flesh, Mashiach came, who is over all, the Most High, blessed forever.
There you go. I'm mine. So be it, man. Let it go. Listen, bro. I'm just saying, in agreement.
I know it's like,
So be it, man. So according to the flesh, that's what I came for, man. That's it. That's all. That's to get the mercies. It's very plain, man. Anything else is you not trying to do. So even if you took your route and still went in with the heathens, their salvation is the fact they're going to be serving us and eventually get peace after they down into slavery.
right.
And that's them being still servants, man. They're going to get destroyed. This is the time of their judgment.
Man,
So you dare not call it salvation. This is the time of their judgment, man.
Right.
Deuteronomy 37, this curse have been put on the heathens. All right, now they're just being, facetious. Yeah, they getting saved to be slaves. Then they'll be good after that. No, but really, they getting punished right now, man. This is the time of their goddamn judgment.
That's right.
This is back in Sirach 44 and 21. Therefore, he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations in his seed, that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth, and exalt his seed as the stars. So who's this nation? The seed as the stars, man. And cause them to inherit from sea to sea, and from the river unto the utmost part of the land to inherit the earth. 2 Ezra 6, like the young Abdullah read, man. Earth is made for our sakes. The heathens are less than nothing. And here's the point we're here. With Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham his father's sake the blessing of all men and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. For the blessing of all men rested upon Jacob. That's the all men. That's what the Lord is concerned with. These heathens are less than nothing. Well, what's so hard to understand less than nothing? One for to tell you ain't shit. You don't mean nothing, man.
Right, don't let the black woman tell you, you're gonna lose your mind.
God, the proof that says what? Israel became not a nation, right? You can't need it. So the heathens are called what? Not they nobody. They're not even called a nation. They animals, Gentiles, a flock of cattle. All right. He acknowledged him in his blessing and gave him a heritage and divided his portions among the 12 tribes that he parted him. So the blessing and the portions that went from Abraham down to Isaac, down to Jacob, got put on the 12 tribes, man.
Hey, because the second Ezra said that he made the world for our sakes, man. Real fast. This is Psalm 72. I'm gonna read one and I'm gonna jump down. It says, "Give the king thy judgments, O power, and thy righteousness unto the king's son." Now, this is a prayer that King David is making for King Solomon. When you actually read this chapter, King David is prophesying about the kingdom of heaven, man. So this is it's talking about his son, which was Solomon at that time, but which is actually our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, man. I'm gonna jump down to verse 8. It says, "He shall have dominion also from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth," man. So that's the dominion Yahweh Shai is going to have, man. And guess what? Romans 8. That's what we hoping to be, man. You know, the Lord said, "What? Those eunuchs shall not be dry." So you're going to what? Produce fruit. You're going to pour that water out, man. You know?
Right. Right. And to say that they're all people talking about everybody else is crazy because what did it say above? It's talking about the strangers that cleave to Israel and the eunuchs. That still wouldn't be everybody. That still be the elect. Right. That still wouldn't be everybody on the planet. So the all people is talking about what? The Israelites, man, coming out from all lands. All right. All 12 tribes get brought back together, man. That's it. That's all. The same as the great multitude in Revelation 7.
This is Second Ezra 3:13. Now, when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them, whose name is Abraham. Him thou lovest, and unto him only thou showest thy will, and madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob, Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee and put by Esau. And so Jacob became a great multitude.
Yeah, Esau. Yeah. For the record, man, Esau is so-called white man.
That's right.
That's right. He's next up for slavery. That's right. The head leader of the slavery, man. All right, because all the heathens for it. Hey, look, get Deuteronomy 30:7. Bible shot, man. Can we get Jeremiah 25? These fucking heathens, man. Fuck these goddamn heathens, man.
Yeah, Deuteronomy.
Then we're gonna wrap it up, man.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. And Yahweh thy power.
So let me hit that. Let me go back to Isaiah, read the next verse, then we're gonna get to the destruction picture, man. We can go ahead and make sure the scoffers is cut up and for good. Read the next verse.
This is Isaiah 56:8. And Yahweh power, which gathereth the outcasts of Israel, saith,
so this is the title to the Lord right here. So Yahweh that gathered the outcasts of Israel, this is what he says. Go ahead.
Yet will I gather others to him, besides those that are gathered unto him.
Right, he's going to gather who? The scattered Israelites, man. All right, and John 11 to prove that, man. Going back to the strangers, man, that great influx is coming, man. Those 12,000 of these tribes is about to get attacked by an innumerable number, man, because the third of Israel is still a huge number. Shit.
This is John chapter 10, verse 16. Well, I'm starting 15. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and they shall be one fold and one shepherd.
Right. All Israel is going to brought back together, man. Those that can identify on the board, and those who can't, man. That's why the board, the 12 tribe sign is important too, man. That's spiritual, man, because of the strangers. Some got to be able to identify, and some got to still be called strangers, so the prophecies can be fulfilled.
This is Zechariah 8, and In 21, it says, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, and to seek the Lord of hosts. I will go also. Hey, so we all know who praying, the house of prayer. We just proved that. We all know who's seeking the Lord, right? It says, yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Lord of hosts, in Jerusalem, and to pray before the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that the Most High is with you, man.
Go, man. So man, they ain't gonna be able to identify necessarily with the Lord. Don't waking up, man, sitting in Israelites. Now, of course, at one point we did that to the apostles and the elders and the brothers around us. And then, you know, we get into our heritage and we become the Jews again, or the Ephraimites or the Gadites, right? But there's going to be those confusing faces, man. There's the lineage, you know, is record, man. Right? This is Isaiah 11, it's like St. John 11 and 51, 50. Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. What nation? It's the nation of the Jews, obviously. Okay? And this spake he not of himself, or being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahweh Shai should die for that nation. And not for that nation only, not the Jews only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of the Most High Yahweh that were scattered abroad, man. James 1:1, the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad, man. Read it, man.
13.
That's right. So that's the others being gathered, man. The confusion of faces, brothers are coming in, man. And then don't forget those last hour, man. Israelites gonna come in too. They're gonna be rough around the edges, still being an American, man.
I got two something. You talking about the the confusion of faces. This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 25. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sire, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, the enemy hath done this. The servants said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. So that goes into, like, you know what I'm saying, you not knowing, man, you know?
Or the tares is talking about heathens, really Edomites, technically. The heathens that look like Israelites.
Kind of the faces.
No,
confusing the faces of the Israelites that look like other nations. The tares is the heathens that look like us.
Hey, no, but you know what? It's still the spirit. We gotta bring it out because we talk about the the Israelites that look like heathens, but hey, we gotta get on this. Hey, it's gonna be a lot of you and Tamil Marys that think y'all gonna receive some salvation, man, and you're gonna see your fucking head get locked up.
Hey, but in fact, they don't expect it. They cast their word behind it.
You right too.
They are the atheists, evolution,
and all the people soon that baby get fucking hit by a dog or hit by a car, they talking about Jesus and God.
They don't eat that baby.
That's right. They probably pray to see Jesus. Let them read these little bastard.
This is Jeremiah 25 and 27. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and stew and fall and rise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you. And it shall be if they refuse to take the cup of thy hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, ye shall certainly drink.
Right, so the Lord gonna force it on them, man. Nobody just wants to get their ass beat, right? So Lord gonna force on it, and yeah, it's gonna be worse. Which is the bugged out part. Should just took it. But now it's gonna be worse. They gonna fight against the Lord, all right? He still be heathens because they said they can't get right even in the land of uprightness.
This is Psalm 75:8. For in the hand of Yahweh there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them.
Right, they're gonna get the worst part of it, the dregs, all the bitterness, man. When the mixing don't matter, it's the shit. Go ahead.
This is back in Jeremiah 25, verse 25 and 29. For though I begin to bring evil in the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished, ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith the Lord of hosts.
There you go. So Israel be getting that judgment, man. All right. So what does that mean? This part of the scripture got to play out next. This is telling you he was judging, man. So there's no, you dare not fuck say that he was getting saved. They're not getting saved, man. They're going to captivity, man. That's the next stage.
The last stop.
All right. That's what's next for these motherfuckers, man.
Hey,
destruction, man. Get Jeremiah 30. Go ahead, man.
Lamentations 4.
Lamentations 4.
4 and what's that?
21.
Yeah.
Oh, daughter of Edom. But not only just Edom.
Well, that's what Lamentations 3. To the day that they be like that to me.
That's
man.
right. That's right.
Hey, Revelation 2 and 26.
That's what they're going to think. So I can. Oh, that's the day they should be like that to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of them. All of them.
It says they was glad that that the Lord did it unto us, man. Hey, so you gonna get it.
We glad about that, man. We niggas are simple, man. They was happy to take us back.
Yep.
We gotta pay them doubles. We doubly happy that your kingdom is falling. We're gonna be doubly happy to rule over you with an iron fist, man.
That's right.
An iron rod, man.
That's right.
Well, they hit them two things.
That's why I say right up time and shit.
Which one want to do?
Jeremiah 30:16.
This is Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore, all days that devour you.
Start hitting the first.
Verse 11. For I am with you, saith the Lord, to save you, though I make a full end of all nations. Whether I have scattered you, yet I will not make a full end of you, but I will collect you in measure, and will not leave you all together unpunished.
Right, so like I said, the Lord began to bring that sword upon us. We suffered that destruction. Hell, Jacob fucked up right now, you know? Right, this moment, man. They said, what? He gonna make a fool of it. He gonna get saved out of this. And he just about to make a fool in, because after this destruction coming loose, the remnant of y'all that's left is going into bondage.
That's right.
We going into rulership. In 16, man. Jacking their ass straight up all the way through, man. The whole transition. Pulling them down by the ankle. Put them in an ankle lock, man. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore, all they that devour shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be exported, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
There you go. That's plain. So all these heathens are about to get preyed upon, man. It says we should be in like lions in the midst of sheep, man. Right. Young lions. They're not prime like you, man. Tear their ass up. Let's leave it from goat to goat. You know, happy yourself. Just rip their necks off viciously. That's because you're a young lion. That's what you fucking do it. You got the fucking heathens up, man.
Right. Somebody grab the Revelation. It's 2 and 26.
That dude's running.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nation. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father.
That's right, man. That's right. Like a fucking a flower vase or a vase. All right. As it breaks on the ground, just breaking the pieces like a mother. That's how they gonna be, man. But you doing it with a rod of iron, so you're gonna be beaten to dust.
Like dust. It says happy is he that death that little one be death to luck. Shit.
They did it to us. They played games with, caught them on the javelin, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they had that African Dodger.
Y'all, I was just thinking that they had the baby head.
Yeah,
They was throwing
that
baseball
shit,
better.
fucked up. That's fucked up.
We're gonna have precise aim.
Right.
Major
I'll
League.
keep you alive.
Right, we're gonna be missing
Major
on
League
purpose just to scare
Baseball
you.
Popping pieces off their flesh. Eyeball, ear, good aim.
No.
Just so they can breathe enough and pain enough without dying. And I'm going into shot.
You gotta
This is
do it.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7.
They started 6.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 6. And Yahweh thy power will circumcise thy heart and the heart of thy seed to love Yahweh thy power.
And what's that? The new covenant, man. I will give you a fleshy heart, man. All right? We should no longer have circumcised ears, man. Uncircumcised ears. And circumcised hearts, man. Go ahead.
And with all thy soul that they may live.
That we may have the everlasting name and mortality. That comes by righteousness. Again, we're going to be able to keep the law 100%. And what's going to be happening this time? Go ahead.
And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee which persecuted thee.
Right. And we don't afflict our enemies, man. Because those curses are vicious, man. It said that you should only be oppressed. We're going to be the ones doing the oppressing this time around. Right? It said you should plant vineyards and not reap it. We're going to be the ones reaping off their labors this time. We're going to be the ones putting them on slave ships and trading them in. Scattering heathen, selling them, and splitting their families up and shit. And if that sounds harsh to you, man, pray to the Lord, man. That's what's going to happen. That's called judgment. Eye for eye, man.
That's what I say is for I will put my spirit upon them, man. Because hey, what is second Maccabees talking about? It says one nation that has not part in their kingdom, man. They did it to us, so therefore they get it back, man. But say, hey, pray for them. Why? Because that has to be done, man. Payback, recompense, balance,
We
man.
need balance of false balance with domination to the Most High.
Thank the Lord pray for it. He said the Lord pray. He said our kingdom come, thy will be done. And you want to know what the will of the Lord? Hey, this Psalm 149 is 4. God, it said, for Yahweh taking pleasure in his people, he will beautify the meek with salvation. And this is part of salvation. Come. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute vengeance upon them, the judgment written. This honor have all ye saints, praise ye Yahweh.
To
This
execute
honor.
upon them the judgment that's written.
So you heathens are fucked, man. It's like we was fucked when
When we went out, right?
Hey, man, we got fucked up, man. God damn it. And so I look forward to fucking y'all up, shit.
And
That's the only thing that, man, what else can make us, what's gonna make you feel better? Y'all fucked us up. Right.
And man, that sees the
It's like I
father.
got punched in my eye, man. The only thing that's gonna make me feel better is having to punch you in yours.
Right.
I want to go harder because I gotta win. Everything's a competition. I
Yes.
gotta win the eye punching contest, man.
What's that, Revelation 3? It says here is the faith and the patience of the saints, man. Oh, 13, Revelation 13. Go ahead,
You
man.
got it?
Revelation
Read it loud.
13. This is Revelation 13 and 10. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
This honor has all their saints, man. Like you said, they'll wash their feet in the blood of the wicked and say, surely there's a reward with the Lord, man. All right? So surely he's the power to execute judgment. So this is a good thing, man. The Lord says it's a good thing to recompense y'all. I say it's a good thing, that y'all want to be obedient to the Heavenly Father. So I'm going to laugh at it, you know. I'm going to smile back like he is. Shit. Nobody can say it's a fearful smile. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying?
No, 'cause I was going to say it's already written. And y'all mentioned the Lord's Prayer. Thy will be done.
That's right.
It's written. Shit, I'm with it. I hope I'm a part of it. I hope I found in mercy, man.
That's right.
I hope we found in mercy. Salaki. Hey, so with that, Lord willing, we hope this lesson was edifying. Until next time, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to all you brothers who preaching the gospel and truth. In sincerity, always in charity. Shalom.